Hey everybody, welcome back to the 3-Minute Story Challenge. Week 2, we're talking about travel this week, and I'm so excited to have my great friend, Sophie Wallerstedt. Hi, Sophie.
Hey, how's it going,
How are you?
Jason?
Good, great to see you.
Yeah, nice to see
Um,
you.
yeah, Sophie is a grassroots manager in the Twin Cities, and one of my dearest travel friends. We met traveling in Croatia.
Mm-hmm.
Was that 3 or 4 years ago now?
Yeah, it's about 4 years, almost to the day, actually.
That's
So,
right, April. Yeah, about that. That's fun. So Sophie has a great travel story for us. I'm going to set my timer and we'll go. You ready?
uh, yes, I
Okay.
am.
And timer is starting now.
Hey, y'all. So I've done a lot of traveling, and between 2015 and 2016, I was gone for about 15 months, working, volunteering, house sitting, mostly in Central and Eastern Europe. And there was a couple of months that I was house sitting for an English guy in Romania, in a small village close to Brasov in like the Transylvania area. So was gone, yeah, for a fairly long time. And I was having a few tooth issues, having some like tooth pain, like a few months in, I was just kind of ignoring it. But I finally went to, I was house sitting in Romania, and a nerve actually died. I don't know if that's ever happened to any of you, but it's incredibly painful in one of my wisdom teeth. I hadn't taken any of my wisdom teeth out. So fortunately, a Romanian neighbor of mine agreed to drive me into the city. The city is like a half-hour bus ride away, about 20 minutes by car. So she drove me into the city to talk to her dentist friend, who just promptly rapped on a couple of my teeth and said, "This one and this one, they need to go." And I was just like mortified. I've never had teeth extracted before. She's like, "No, it's no problem. I have a friend. He's a great oral surgeon. I will schedule you for tomorrow." So then the next day, my neighbor wasn't able to drive me in, so I had to take the bus. So I took the bus into the city and walked to find the oral surgeon's office, which was in a house that had been remodeled to look like a dentist's office. And the whole process was actually pretty painless. He shot me up with a ton of Novocaine, and I had all this gauze in my mouth. So by the end, I was trying to figure out, do I have the energy to take the bus home right now? Because the bus only goes back to the village every 2 minutes or 2 hours or so. So I like made a snap decision. I was like, yeah, I'm going to take the bus back. I'll just like grab a taxi and take it back to the bus station, and I'll be fine. So I leave, and I've got all this gauze in my mouth, and I'm definitely bleeding. And I'm trying to hail a taxi, but nobody is, paying attention to me. So I decide, okay, well, I just have to walk really fast to the bus station, and I'll get there in time. So I'm walking, and I see the bus station, but then I see the bus going back to the village, pulling out of the bus station. So I'm like, okay, I have to walk faster. So I'm walking, and I'm walking, and then I like was able to get to the intersection and like walk down the street. I'm like, okay, I just need to like flag this bus down, and I'm gonna make it. So I start running, and you're not supposed to do that after you've had teeth extracted. So I start running, and I'm like waving and being like, please, like, da 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 da. And thank God, like the bus stops for me. And so I get on the bus, and the driver, he's just like very angry at me. He's like, no, I'm like, I don't care. Mulțumesc, like, thank you. And so I get, I sit down and like take the bus ride back to the village, buy some ice cream, and then get back to the house, and then remain there for a few days. And I know I'm at 3 minutes, but I will have to say real quickly that after that experience, I realized that I can do absolutely anything. Like if I can have 2 teeth pulled in a foreign country and then run to catch the bus back to my village, like I'm pretty much, nothing will top that in terms of travel chaos. So yeah, that's that.
As soon as you mentioned teeth, I was like, oh no, the tooth story.
Sorry. I will say it was dirt cheap. I paid $50 cash per tooth. And so I did get my last 2 wisdom teeth removed last year in the States. And, obviously it's like thousands of dollars, which is just wild. But it was a great experience. The doctor was super nice. He like spoke English.
Good.
And it was, a really painless process just up until the end, when it was like, oh my God, like, what am I doing? Shot up with Novocaine.
Did he hand you the teeth afterwards?
Well, he asked me if I wanted to look at them, and I was like, sure. And he's like, do you want to keep them? And I was like, no, that's okay. But some people do, apparently. They want to keep the teeth.
it's what I love about traveling the most, really, is of course it's the things you see, but it's the people you meet. And I think back to all the times that I've really enjoyed my experiences traveling on the road. And it's about the connections that I made. And
Mhm.
it was just so wonderful that our paths crossed that day
Yeah.
in Zadar,
Great.
Croatia.
Yeah.
It was just great. I remember being in the hostel and I was like, oh, I hear English. I hear an American accent. And we chatted and we went out with a bunch of friends and then spent the whole next day just wandering around the city.
Yeah.
That's one of my fondest travel memories. Is
Same, Jason. That was, yeah, just such a nice treat. And then to be able to stay in touch for, up, 4 years now and then forever afterwards is just a really
Yeah,
cool experience.
I hear you. Thank you.
Mhm.
Well, that's our 3-minute story challenge with Sophie. It's time for your shameless plug.
Yes, shameless plug. So I work for Be the Match, the National Marrow Donor Program. And essentially my plug is that if you are feeling like you need to do something to make a difference, I would really suggest that you join Be the Match's Marrow Registry. Very simple. You go to bethematch.org, click join, and then have them send you a kit in the mail where you just swab your cheek and send it in. And Be the Match helps coordinate the unrelated donor transplants for people who are suffering from blood cancers, leukemia, other issues. So a lot of folks, like their family members aren't like an exact DNA match, so they have to go into this database of millions of people to figure out if there's, a match for them. So I would say if you haven't joined the registry, I would really recommend it. You can literally save a life by swabbing the inside of your cheek. Super cool. So bethematch.org.
I mean, I just want to say too, Sophie, the work you do is inspiring. I mean, I know how hard you work in the Twin Cities, and I think that type of energy and enthusiasm to make a positive difference is really important, especially right now. So thank you for all the
Oh,
work.
thank you, Jason.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, I hope to see you soon. I hope that
Yeah.
either I can make it there or you can make it here when this is all over. Paris says hi somewhere. She's
Yeah.
sleeping on the couch. Give my best to Casey, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Jason.
Thanks, friend.
Yep,
Bye.
see you. Bye.